the characters on screen are not scrolling. It's the bike is moving, and the viewport which I've got, which is 64,000 units long, is moving along with the bike. So the characters, it's a bit balked. I haven't been working on this. I've been working on the title screen because I cocked up the entire title screen during a lapse of concentration, massive lapse of concentration, and I completely and utterly crudded up the stack, and I could not work out what I'd done. So I scrapped all of the title screen code and rewritten it over the last day. I've still got some bits to put back in, but I've got the viewport going and multiple characters scrolling on screen here with this viewport code, and then when he goes off out of the viewport, he launches into the demo mode, which is booked. But you can see that it doesn't, the bike's quite nice on the jumping mode. If I press the button, so that's jumping. So what happens is I've got a viewport, so I've moved along quite a bit, and as the bike goes off the screen, it's actually it's outside the viewport, but he's still moving along, and you just don't see it. Then he comes back onto the within the viewport, and he goes past the end of the viewport. And when we get onto the last row, the viewport's widened and set to scroll with the bike, so that I can draw multiple buses, and you can see it's quite nice, smooth scrolling on that. Like I say, I need to fix the left ramp's moving randomly around the right ramp's randomly around the screen. That's quite funny actually. But it's not looking bad. I've redesigned the bike, the wheels animate and everything. The only thing I've not done, because I've not looked at it yet, is drawing the bike left to right. Don't worry about the brightness, that's the overexposure of the camera. It isn't that bright on the Vectrex, otherwise I would be burning my monitor. So I think I'm at a point where I can start making progress. I've still got a load of code to rip out and throw away from when I was developing and testing. I'm still learning how to program the Vectrex. I don't really know what I'm doing. And as Malbam pointed out to me in the crushing way he did, that calibration is going to be a problem with the pipe work over here and getting the lines to line up. I could do what Chris Parsons said, and I could just tell people to move their head, which is an option, but I think what I'm going to do, this was only a temporary design for the overlay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go old jazzy on the overlay, I think, and do what everyone else has done and just leave a plain bit in the centre and have some nice art on the side, and obviously not hand paint the mask, because that looks pretty scummy, particularly there. You see how blobby he is. It's good enough for what I'm doing for testing and testing that it's going to work. But that's current progress. I wasn't going to waffle on, I was only going to show the title screen. But you can see I'm up to 20 buses now. So we're scrolling away. Oh, he's not going fast enough though. I've got acceleration going, and it sort of got that set up to put a bit of torque on the bike to make it pop a wheelie. If you put too much torque on, it's going to make you flip. And I've sort of got that sorted in my head. I've got to write a little bit more code, but I've got the acceleration code right, and the torque. Just need to implement how I'm going to do rotation. I'm probably going to have to do some sprite settings and change the animation and do it using frames rather than rotating, because I won't have time. Once you get up to 28 buses, I'm a bit over. I'm up to 31,500 clock cycles. I haven't optimized yet, so there's lots of JSR calls going left, right and centre, so I've got to optimize that a little bit. But yeah, it's running quite well actually, apart from the weird random right ramp. I haven't actually implemented any landing mechanics because I've changed to this viewport model. So I could do that. It's going to be a lot easier than what it was before. It was a right hack when I had it working before. Here we go, 28 buses. Oh, and it resets at 27 because I've done a less than rather than a greater than. Okay, so that's the current state of the old Stunt Man Stories, as it's now called. Just go back to the title screen. Oh, that was me testing. I can't go back to the title screen. Oh, there you go. Good way to end the video. But there you go. That's where I'm at. So hopefully I can make some progress over the next couple of weeks. See you now.